Have you ever given everything you had to people who disappeared the moment you needed them? Your times, your money, your energy, your heart. And when your hardest day came, not one of them showed up. This is the story of a man who lived that pain and then received something he never expected. In a small village called Mehranpur, there lived a man named Remant. He was not the richest man in the village. He was not the most powerful. But if you were hungry, Remant's door was open. If you needed money, Remant found a way. If your daughter's wedding was coming and you had nothing, Remant was already there. People would say, as long as Remant is here, this village will be fine. They said it with smiles on their faces. But smiles are very easy to make. That year, a terrible drought came. Remant's crops dried up. His well went empty. His savings ran out. For the first time in his life, he needed help. He went to the man he had given money to. The door opened a crack, then closed. Sorry, Remant. Difficult times for us too. He went to the family whose wedding he had paid for. The woman looked at him and said her husband wasn't home. Remant had seen him walk inside minutes ago. He went to his oldest friend, the one he had carried through the darkest years of his life. That friend opened the door, looked Remant in the eyes, and said, "What you gave me, you gave from your heart, right? Then why are you asking for it back?" Remant walked home, alone. He sat beside his dry well and looked down into the darkness, and he saw his own face staring back at him. He whispered, "I am just like this well. When I had water, everyone came. When I dried up, no one came." He sat there as the sun went down. No tears, no anger, just a silence that was heavier than any words. That same evening, a stranger walked into the village. Dusty clothes, cracked lips, exhausted eyes. He saw Remant sitting alone and walked toward him. "Brother, do you have any water? I have been walking since morning." Remant looked at him, but he had nothing. No crops, no well water, no money. But inside his home, there was one glass of water, the only glass he had saved for himself, for tomorrow. He stood up, took the stranger inside, and gave him that last glass. Without hesitation, without asking for anything, the stranger drank slowly, said thank you with his eyes before his words. Then he got up and disappeared into the dark road. Remant went to bed that night with an empty stomach, but something felt different inside his chest. Not empty, somehow full. When Remant opened his eyes the next morning, he heard voices outside his door. He stepped out and stopped. The village chief was standing there. Behind him, people carrying grain, gifts, and a wooden box. The chief looked at Remant and said, "Remant, I want to thank you for a lifetime of giving to this village and for last night." Remant was confused. The chief continued, "The thirsty stranger you gave your last glass of water to last night, that was me. I travel in disguise sometimes to see who people really are when they have nothing left to give." He opened the wooden box, 5,000 gold coins, grain for a year, and gifts beyond what Remant had ever seen. "This isn't charity," the chief said quietly. "This is what good always comes back as, when you least expect it." Remant stood there, unable to speak, his eyes filled, not because of the gold, but because he finally understood something he had been living wrong for years. The people he had fed for decades, they took because he kept giving. He trained them to receive and never to return. But this one act, given when he had nothing, to someone he did not know, came back 1,000 times over. Not every hand deserves what you carry. Not every person in your life deserves your last glass of water. Some people you feed and feed and feed, and the moment your well dries up, they walk away without looking back. And some people, strangers sometimes, see your goodness even in your emptiness. The problem was never your kindness. The problem was who you were being kind to. Stop feeding people who will disappear when your well runs dry. Stop giving your energy to those who only call when they need something. Stop emptying yourself for people who wouldn't give you a single glass of water on your hardest day. Your kindness is not the problem. Your kindness is your greatest strength, but a well that gives to everyone eventually gives to no one. Protect your water. Give it to those who are truly thirsty, not to those who have learned to waste it. If you have ever been Remant, if you have ever given everything and found yourself sitting alone beside a dry well, I want you to know your giving was never wasted. Kudrat sees everything, even your last glass. Share this with someone who gives too much to the wrong people. And tell me in the comments, have you ever given your last glass of water to someone who truly deserved it? I read every single one. See you in the next story.